Hey everyone. So I wanted to start a series. I have been wanting to do this, but well, to be quite frank, having a baby, COVID, all that, I just haven't done it. So I'm doing it now. Basically, I'm a director, now what? Because many times we get that question, or maybe you've had that question like, what do I do now that I'm a director? The first thing I want to preface this first video with is a lot of times, if you have hustled your heart out to get to director and you have worked hard for this and you have done all the recruiting, all the selling, all the stuff, you're going to find that you get to director and you're like, now what? Because if you're already doing the things, not much changes. Okay. One thing you need to know with being a director, you probably already know, is you have to maintain 500 PRV to get paid a title, period. Even if your team hits the 10,000 TWV and you only hit 450 PRV, you're not going to get paid a title. That's actually very, very important. So I don't know if you know this. Hopefully you do, and you've shared this with people that join your team. But one of the perks about Cincy is no matter how high you go, whether you are a lead consultant all the way to superstar consult director, you only have to pull 500 PRV. But what you guys are going to find, and what you have probably already seen through the time you've been with Cincy, is most of the time our top sellers, our directors are in the top sales, because many directors Cincy wide, directors and above, they're pulling the high PRV. Because when you pull the higher PRV, that means you're getting to know more people, your teams are growing, you're recruiting more, all that stuff. It all goes hand in hand. And we've all heard that. We've all learned that at SFR, at World Tour, at different trainings we've done with Cincy. We know that to grow our businesses, to get more team members, we have to be doing parties, we have to have high PRV. But you only have to have 500 to get paid at title. Now, here's the one thing, as your superstar director, I really want to encourage you to have that 500 by the 10th or 15th. Because I watch and I see, and I mean, people in Cincy, not just Brave, and I see the successful people, and I see it's the people pulling more than 500 a month. So, just to encourage you to do that. But if you're someone that you're recruiting a lot and you're helping flip parties, that's a whole different ballgame. But you're a director, now what? Okay, you have to maintain the 500 and the 10,000 TWV, okay? One of the things you want to think about now that you're a director is, how does my business shift? How has the director you've been under been working with you? How have they been working with your team? Do they do happy mail? Do they send promotion mail? Do they do top 10 PRV cards? What do they do? In our group, we tend to do our Friday 5. That is now your job. That is part of your team. You will see whoever your director is, right? They stay your director, right? Like my director is still my director on my workstation. So in our group, our family here, your director is still your director. So she may throw in there that your name's still in top 5, but you were on her team. But she will no longer use your team because it's your job now to use your team. Does that make sense? I'm repeating myself a lot. But we do top 5 Friday shoutouts. You can do that in Brave. You can do that in your team page. Some people choose to do it in their team pages. Some people do it in Brave. Some people do it in both. And some people, like myself, I alternate just depending on the day. Maybe let's talk about team pages. So on a director call recently, we kind of discussed that. And there are pros and cons of breaking off by yourself. If you have a smaller page and your director has a thriving one that you are helping lead, I don't think there's any rush to leave. That's just my personal opinion. Now, as your team grows, you're going to find I kind of need to navigate my own self. I need to find my way. And if you've already had a team page, if it works for you, then do it. If you've been around Cincy for a while, you will see how we have transitioned through the years, right? And for many, many years, we were all in one group page. And it worked until all of a sudden we have 25 directors, right? But if you are in your directors group and you're not leading, you might need to figure out a way to get your own page so you can lead. And you're seen as the leader and you're leading. So that's something you need to discuss with your upline director. How is this going to change? Do you need your own team page, or are y'all going to work together? What kind of things are you going to put in your team page? You should have been added to the idea share page. You guys, utilize that page, okay? Utilize that page because there are years and years of great things that directors have put out there for you to use. I will go and I will search a topic like paycheck or sponsoring, or I will use a keyword and then I will find something someone posted back in 2014-15 and I will share it on my team page. Most of the time, I don't share the things from that page on Brave Family. That way, when you share it on your team page, it just looks like it's from you. There is great, forget my word I'm using, but it's really great to use what other people use. Why remake the wheel, right? So I'm so glad we have that page that we can utilize. The other thing is there is power in numbers. So you don't want to go segregating yourself 100%, okay? So you're a director, now what? You know your PRV you need to get. You need to figure out, do I want to have my own team page? Do I need to have my own team page, okay? You need to have a real discussion with your upline director on if they have been doing mail, you need to figure out, okay, can you do it for one more month until I get my handle on things? This is what you need to know. Just because your upline sends mail does not mean you have to. Just because your upline has been sending something does not mean you have to. You will find in our director group that everyone does things differently. Not everyone sends happy mail. Not everyone sends postcards. You guys use what works for you. Use text messaging, Facebook shout outs, send postcards, send emails, whatever works for you. Myself, I reevaluate every catalog to see what I need to change, what's working for me, what's not. Sometimes I send mail, sometimes I send, I do have my systems on things I specifically send. And you may choose to do so now. Now you'll see, I have sent top 25 in the whole group for a long time. Keep it relative to your team size. I would not go sending top 25 if you have 50 or less people. I sent top 10 for years and years and years. Top 5. You don't have to do a ton, right? Or just put a pretty graphic up on their page. But your job now is to encourage and motivate and shout out your team. That is not your director's job anymore. That is your job. And if you have a director that never did that, well, guess what? Now you get to do things how you want to do. I will tell you from experience, people want to be recognized for the most part. And I think it's very vital to your business, to the health and wellness of your business, to be doing that. Another thing is, I have said for years, show up to go up. You guys show up here on our director page, show up in the group page, show up in your team page every single day, even if you're not working. Schedule posts, okay? Showing up for your team is one of the most important things you can do. We have spontaneous director calls. You'll learn I'm kind of spontaneous. We have, what?
Stop using your hands.
Should I stop using my hands? We have spontaneous director calls. It's important for you to take the time every couple times and just show up. Engage with your leaders. I am not one to get on top of you. I'm not one to push people when they don't want to be pushed. I'm not one to micromanage or beg you to show up. But I will tell you, showing up helps you go up, build the relationships in this community with our leaders, because it's vital. It's vital. And if you're struggling, it's okay to be real here in our page, because we want you to be, and we've all been there, and we all have our own struggles. Do I want you coming on here being negative? No, because when you're negative, other people don't want to come on here. Nobody wants to be part of a group of people that are always whining and complaining, and that's not what we're made of. It's not what we've ever been made of over in Brave Family, and it's not what we're made of over here. But you can be real. You can come and discuss your struggles. You can shout yourself out, you guys. Shout yourself out when you hit milestones that are so important, okay? Share ideas. The last thing I want to leave you with on this video, and I will come back in a few days with another one, you will see a lot of ideas shared. A lot of ideas shared in here, okay? And I want you to take what you can and use it. Thank you. I sneezed all day. Of course I sneeze on the video. Take what you can and leave it. You are here to make money, okay? Don't overly spend. Orville always says, spend Cincy money on your family. Don't spend family money on Cincy. So be very mindful of that. Set a budget if you need to, whatever it is that will help you, okay? And don't feel like you have to do what everybody else and their dogs are doing, especially now that you're a director. You'll be added to director pages. As you see other people doing things, do not feel like you need to keep up with the Joneses, because you don't. You are you, I am me. We are all our own people, and you will learn the more you get to know me. I beat to a rhythm of my own drum. I'm not trying to keep up with all the other people. I just do what I can. And you guys, you will be added to the official director page. It can be very snarky and negative. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you, okay? I'm just warning you. The last thing I want to say is make sure your family comes first, okay? Make sure your husband comes first. Make sure your kids come first. Take the time for your family. You need to carve out the time for Cincy. Take one day off a week, okay? Because it can get tedious. It can get busy. If you're doing all the things you need to be doing, sometimes it can get overwhelming. Today, I was just like, I just want it to be the weekend because I just needed to breathe, right? But it is such a great season right now. We have a lot of leaders promoting, and it's vital to get our stuff together. So, you've got to get your PRV, your TWV. Figure out what you're going to take from your director and what you're going to do for your team. Tell your director when they're good. Let them do something. Let them finish. If they send Happy Meal, let them do it one more month, and then you take over. If you choose not to do Happy Meal, don't do it. It's okay. If you don't show up with your team, though, they will never see you as the director. You need to know that. You need to show up with your team. And there are going to be times you get discouraged. Come and talk to us about it because we've all been there, and we can help you to get through some things. Now, one more thing. I keep saying one more thing. But if you are someone that you have a director under you, okay? So we've been having that situation quite a bit. That is another kind of different thing. If you are a director and you've recently promoted a director, you have to really realize and understand the team, okay? The team culture there. If you promoted a director, they have their own team now. Those people are in your group, but they are no longer your team, and you need to respect that director under you. It can be a challenge, especially if you have relationships with them or you've been working with them. But you have to honor and respect your leader and your director so they can lead and direct their team. So when you do shout outs, you want to shout out your team and let your director shout out their team. Because people also get really confused. Like, wait, I'm sorry, what? I'm confused. Where am I? Just respect your director. Talk to your downline director to see what they want you to do, what role they want you to play. The more you're involved here, the more you'll see. I am very like, hey guys, do you want me to do this? Usually before I do anything group wide, I always come in and ask. And then I always say, if you want to participate with me. Because again, not going to micromanage, not going to force people, and I'm also not going to step on toes. So be respectful of that, you guys. And it's a shift. It's a challenge when you promote a director. But when you go in there, you see your TWV is now your team. GWV includes your director. Okay. And when you pull your leadership report, your downline report, everyone under your director belongs to them. So you want to make sure that you are doing what you need to do to work with your team. And you want to set the goal to hit 10,000 TWV without your director. Because if you and your director are both hitting 10,000, that's 20,000 GWV. That's how you're going to build a sustainable business, you guys, is continuing to work with your team and your TWV. Not just, it's a very big shift. When we promoted so many directors, it was very difficult for me to shift from all the leaders I've been working with for so long to where I still work with them. Now they work with their teams, right? To shift to learning how to grow my team again. So I hope that helps. This could have been probably 3 videos, but welcome to Directorhood. Welcome to Brave Director family, and we're so glad you're here. And I hope these tidbits help you, and I will do another video in a few days to give you some more tips. Bye.